let's go to the guy that the Nets traded for Ben Simmons, James Harden.
Yeah.
Now, James Harden is opting out of his $47 million a year. And it looks like he's going to take less from Philadelphia to help the team. They have some real financial flexibility that they can work. They can use their full taxpayer mid-level exception now that, according to Keith Pompey with the Philly Inquirer, if I remember his paper correctly, Keith says that they're in the mix to sign PJ Tucker and that's going to be the guy they bring. PJ Tucker is an old Daryl Morey favorite. I think he makes some sense here. As a 4-man that can take on tough assignments in the playoffs. Looks like they're considering moving Matisse Thybulle. I agree with that, but I've always been kind of clear that I value Matisse a little bit less than others do. As fun as he is, and as much as I appreciate his Australian acceptance as I do. I mean, look, you've got James Harden, you've got Joel Embiid, you've got Tyrese Maxey, you've got Tobias Harris, you're going to bring in PJ Tucker.
Got Melton.
You have D'Anthony Melton now, who's going to be a valuable bench player.
You love D'Anthony Melton. That's one of your guys.
This works for me. Like their off season so far works for me, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's good.
First, and like, honestly, kudos to James Harden for taking less. Like, this has always been, he's always been the guy that, gets all the shit for being selfish and all that stuff. Shout out James Harden for taking less. We'll see if it works, but he deserves credit for being willing to do that. He's made $300 million or whatever, and he cares about winning. If you're going to say that you care about winning, this is how you do it.
I mean, it's not a fully altruistic act. Like, I do believe it when it's like, hey, it's about winning, this and that. But the way that James Harden played down the stretch, he might also know that this is the last chance to lock in a long-term, big-time payday. And you have to turn down $47 million. But just like Russell Westbrook opting into his $47 million, like, Russ knows there's no big contract coming down the pipeline. That's the last time $47 million and Russell Westbrook are going to be connected. Whereas with James Harden, he can still get very good money, not the maximum, but right there, second tier from the Philadelphia 76ers, who I'm sure he holds. We know his relationship with Daryl. We know how Daryl views him. This was always going to work out in Philadelphia, in my estimation. And also, Philadelphia went and got him. Philadelphia saved his ass from whatever was happening over there in Brooklyn in a situation that he didn't want to show up to anymore. And Philadelphia made that easy for him. The Rockets thing dragged out. It was painful. It was awkward. It was sad. The Sixers did Harden such a solid in their move by tossing in a little bit more than probably they had they really pressed the Nets. They're even. And I think it works out for everybody. Good on James Harden. He's going to get, another nice, massive check. He gets the term, which I think is probably more important than the short-term higher money. The Sixers put themselves in a better position to win. They got a hell of an operation there already in place. I think that they could augment, because that's really all they need to do. Question is, if James Harden, and I know that the reports are already now coming out, we'll see what actually happens by the time we get to September and October in training camp. But if James Harden wants to be fully committed to the operation, if James Harden wants to get back into, I'm going to go win MVP mode, James Harden, which he won't be doing in Philadelphia because the MVP is Joel Embiid on that team, but that kind of shape, that kind of callousness that he can build up for the regular season. If he's ready to go, if he's going to go full God mode James Harden this season, which requires him to put in crazy work in the summer to prepare his body for 100+ games throughout the regular season and postseason, now the Sixers are in a different tier. And good on everybody. Yeah. It sounds like a situation that, let's not forget, not that long ago was crazy toxic. Philly is a mess. Shit. Think about all the stuff that Joel Embiid has just said in the last year about his own teammates in press conferences. Now, we love Joel because he tells the truth, but stuff I don't think about that man, or we thought we were getting the Houston James Harden, all that. There's always going to be even, a little bit. You give an inch to the Philadelphia media, they're going to take a mile. this feels like everything is on really good footing. I think that the Sixers are going to be an improved team year over year in that Eastern Conference. Let's boogie. Let's play. Let's see if Joel can stay healthy, because if he does, they might be the team to beat.
I'm in. I'd still take Milwaukee over them because I'm a big believer in Giannis and Chris and Drew, and Chris was out, but Philly is up there. Like, Philly is certainly within the top 2 or 3, along with Miami and you know, whatever you think of Chicago moving forward. You know,
Boston, of course.
I don't know what to do with them. Boston obviously made the finals this year, and Boston's going to be another, you know, potential top 3 team in the East. But yeah, I love it. I love where they're headed. I think this was a big stabilization offseason for Philly in a way that if you've followed the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast over the years, there have not been many of these.
No. And it's been great for the content, like not great for the health.
This is one where there should at least be a modicum of health for Mike Levin and Spike Eskin. God love them.